Alright guys, by the name of the title, you already know it's going to be a stupid name, but that's just what works for me. If you are completely brand new to Hi-Capas, this video, I would suggest you look at my other videos on the channel. But if you're going to ignore me anyways, what I'll try to do is actually go over each tier of upgrades. Now this is what I call the PP or the performance package. I am stretching the term performance, and I'll explain later on, but it's a stretch because there's some parts in here, you know, what's the performance you get out of it. The reality is you get durability out of it. But I'll explain why I'm adding this into it. It's been a while since I've done an upgrade video, and this isn't a representation of all the parts I'm a huge fan of, so what I'll do is talk about the stuff I like and the companies I don't like. You have to remember, guys, this is just my opinion. I use a lot of this stuff for building my guns, for customer guns. I sort of just gear people towards this stuff. This is what I like, and you know, I think it's better just to buy high quality parts instead of cheap stuff. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, guys, I'm not a huge fan of Angel Custom or 5KU or mostly Chinese stuff that are just really cheap. Okay, there's only a couple of parts that I will like, and it's when no one else makes that part. That's the only way those kind of companies get by. But we're not going to be talking about them because they don't even make it into my list here for companies. So if you're not familiar with my basic upgrade video or advanced one, there's a term that I think I pretty much coined it, and it's a weird term, but that's the reason why I do it weird, is because it's easy to remember. Meat and potatoes. So if you have a brand new stock TM and you're already invested into pistols, and you know you've broken the slide, some things are broken, you're gonna put some money into it. This is where I always tell people to upgrade. This is the meat and potatoes. First of all, you get an aluminum slide. Okay, just a standard slide. You don't have to get the fancy ones. It's standard, you know, airsoft masterpiece slide. There's a couple companies I like out there. Airsoft Masterpiece, Gunsmith Bro. They're basically the same thing, just rebrands. You guys can even check out Prog 4. There's the Elite Shooting Center in UK. There's A Gunmate, and then there's, you know, a-airsoft.com. Check those websites. They have a lot of good slides. Not a big fan of Garter or Shooter Design, and especially Airsoft Surgeon. They just charge way too much. His stuff is a rip-off. I'd probably say that's for collectors when he does slides that no one else does. But if you're a skirmisher and you're just trying to get your best bang for buck and not trying to, you know, get ripped off, I would probably say stick with these guys: Gunsmith Bro, Airsoft Masterpiece, Prog 4, the Elite Shooting Center. Just check those websites. What I'll do is I'll put the description below. I mean, links to them below. And then the second part that's important is a loading nozzle. A lot of people do like the UAC aluminum, and it's nice, but for me personally, like I always tell you guys on my videos, you guys need to do research yourself, check around. Maybe, you know, there's a lot more people around your area that have better results. I prefer plastic myself because I feel like it does less damage to the gun overall, but it's still nice, and I still have one. I have it in two of my guns, but I'm a huge fan of plastic. I'm actually down to a few favorite loading nozzles. It's Garter, the Wee Tan one. People get confused with Matrix. It's not the Matrix Dark Earth one. There's a Wee Tan loading nozzle that's like dirt cheap. It's like $8 to $13 wherever you get it from. That's pretty dope. I like the Garter ones, and I know most people say, "Well, you didn't like the slides." You got to remember, just because I don't like a slide doesn't mean I don't. I just like the whole company. There's certain parts companies can do well, and I think they've done the loading nozzles very nice. Okay. What else? The KGW red ones are not bad. Those are CO2 ready. Those are really cheap too. And that's about it. Shooter design ones are not bad. The white ones, but you know, they're not the sort of. It's just hard to find them, sort of. But I don't gotta wait. Garter is really easy to find now. And then last, for the meat and potatoes section, or tier 1, should we call that tier 3 or tier 1? I don't even know. Let's just call it tier 3? Ah, shit, whatever. Recoil spring. 120 to 150, but certain companies that make 150 recoil spring are just overkill. So you're going to notice when you put something too strong in your gun, and it's going to be like really hard to pull it back. And you don't want that, okay? The harder it is to pull it back, the more gas you're gonna waste, and you're just gonna, you're gonna wreck the gun anyways. But I tend to stay with AIP 120 and the AIP 140. They're easy for me to get. They're relatively inexpensive. There's one other companies you guys can check out there. I would stay away from anything above 150%. That's just overkill. So that covers the meat and potato. That's the most important thing. Then you come here in a second, and this is what I call the Holy Grail. And it's just a Type 4 barrel and an upgraded bucket. It doesn't have to be these two, but as long as it do not. A lot of people are buying Angel custom barrels, and they're. I've worked on probably 13 to 15 guns, and they're running like 5-inch barrels or 6-inch barrels, and they're getting horrible FPS. And it's mainly because of the Angel custom barrels. They're not perfectly straight. They're warped. They're crappy. Just try to get good ones. You don't have to pay for PDI. I'm a huge fanboy of PDI, but you guys can get R8 Tech / Maple Leaf 9-ball power barrel. These guys have been making barrels longer than freaking Angel custom. Okay, and those are just Chinese. You get what you pay for. But Maple Tech, R8 Tech are good prices, and they come with buckings. I haven't tested the UAC yet. I have to do a video on that. There's just so many parts I have and so many things I have to do. But regardless, PDI W hold and Maple Leaf Monster buckings. And I used to use 9-ball. I got tired of them, but people said they're good now, so I guess I'm going to have to retry them. So I'm going to give that a shot. And then I've been using the Maple Leaf Autobot and this guy right here. This is for the Project CQB Glock, and he's been doing excellent. So that's the Holy Grail, barrel plus bucking. Now you're on to the final stage, which I don't think I've done a video on. These were in the advanced upgrades, and I've probably talked about it, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to package all of this. So like when people come to me and, hey Knuckles, is there a package you have that sort of just covers everything? And I feel like these cover all the important things, and I've stretched that important thing. Lightweight blowback unit is it's not important, but it helps prevent. It's just really annoying. I know it happens to a lot of people. The amount of people it's happened to is insane. But the stock TM piston usually swells really fast, and people will say, my loading nozzle's not working. We'll try to pull their loading nozzle, and it's just the O-ring has swollen, is swollen beyond hell, and it's a brand new gun. Even these guys could be lubing it, and it still does that. So I usually tell people, you know what, just switch to lightweight blowback unit, or we try to switch to, you can change the piston, but you get so much benefit with this. If you are trying to get heavy recoil, hell no, this is not for you. This is for, I don't know, if you're trying to get performance-wise, you're going to want it to reduce as much weight as you can on the slide, and this is a big benefit. This paired with short stroke, you will see such a big difference in the speed. You'll save little gas, but you're going to see mostly the difference in the speed. So it definitely has to go, and that's why I put it in here. Now, you don't have to have a cocking handle. What I'm trying to tell you is get a different sight. I don't have one on hand, but this is UAC one. The stock TM ones, they break. It's stupid how easy they break, okay? This screw right here is pot metal, and then sometimes the joint right here, that will break. These guys get destroyed. So usually I'll tell people, get a cocking handle, or get a UAC Bomar sight if you're trying to keep sights that look whatever. You can get Bomar sights, and these are lightweight, which is nice, so you can help reduce weight as well versus the stock one. So that's why I have cocking handle / Bomar sight. Like if you're trying to get heavy weight, you would get the steel one, but that's not going to help the performance. It's going to make it worse. So that's why I'm trying to address those guys out there. But what I'll do is I'll make a video that's based on trying to get as much recoil as you can. Actually, that would be a good video. Why have I never done that? That's stupid, because I have a couple pistols that are built like that. Alright, I'm getting sidetracked. Moving on. Thumb safeties. These break in the damn TMs. It drives me nuts. If you saw my part blocks, I literally have like a bunch of left sides that are broken and some right sides. They just break. So I put this in here because this is more of a durability upgrade. And if you just, you know, you can get it in black, silver, gold, and these are expensive as shit, okay? These are like $60, $70, and that's not including shipping. So you can try like a cheaper company. I think there's New Age. I'm not really a fan of them. They weren't drop-ins on most of the customers I've done it for. Especially the this guy. I have to work on it, but they are cheaper. And if you can get it to work, I would say, yeah, go ahead and get it to work, because that is $30 versus $70, $60. And, you know, this is never going to break, okay? This guy is running the steel ones, and he's been through hell. All right? There's no way I can, you know, I wish I could prove it to you guys, but he's been through hell. He's going to be loose, but it has not broken. And the joke is, if you want to tighten it, you just take it out and you just clamp it down again, and it's back to, you know, being tight. So that's why this is in here. Blowback unit. I mean, not blowback unit. Ah, damn, it is late. Hop-up unit. The TM ones will break. They will break right. I don't know if you guys can see on camera. They will break right here. Generally, they'll break right here, and they'll just start having jamming problems, which is annoying. And the joke is, the performance you get from this, especially if you're using the heavy BBs, is really nice. You don't have to buy the brass one. Even the AIP ones are nice. There's a lot of generations of them, so I can't even. I've gotten from the original one to the AKA copied version, because the AKA and AIP merged. That's why I'm actually going to do a review on this, or double check if this is new or not. But I feel like this is new, but this looks like the AKA one. But regardless. AKA / AIP, they make cheaper copper ones or enhanced ones. Those work well. Try to get something that's not aluminum. The Airsoft Surgeon one, guys, I feel bad for you guys, but those are a ripoff. Don't even bother with those. You don't want to get aluminum. If you're trying to lighten the slide or lighten the whole gun, sure. But other than that, your steel barrel will destroy the aluminum one, okay? This is the Airsoft Surgeon one. I already had 2-3 customers buy, and it's just the parts that hold the inner barrel already gone, and they're not even running they're not running CO2 or anything. It's just already gone. They're a waste of money. So get something that's stronger than aluminum. All right. Final, steel guide rod. Doesn't have to be a 2-piece. As long as it's steel. I'm not too picky on this. There's a lot of companies that make them. As long as it's steel. AIPs is cheap. Actually, most of these are steel. They're just steel guide rods. The stock T ones will break around here, especially if you put a lot of rounds to it. So, like I told you guys, you know, what performance am I getting out of this? You're getting durability out of this. That's what you're really getting. And these aren't smooth, but you know, you can smooth out the stock ones. But what you're really getting is the durability, and that's what I'm trying to show you guys. I'm trying to prevent. Well, not prevent. I guess this would be preventive measures. And finally, aluminum guide plug. It's durable as hell. Okay, it really is. I think I've only broken a couple in my lifetime, and that's a lot of BBs I put through these. These are also, what's nice about them is they're light. You can even get the ones that are ported to save your slide even more weight, because it is the part that is being pulled back. Okay. So you probably wouldn't want a light one. You can get steel one, but once again, that's not going to help your slide cycle any faster. It's just going to drag it down a little bit more. So these ones, the stock ones on the TM, they do break their pot metal. All right, I don't have hammer in there or any of their internals, because quite honestly, those last a long time. And I feel like the problem is if you buy upgraded hammers, you don't know what you're doing, you actually give yourself more of a headache, and you're going to have to send to someone like me or a gunsmith that knows how to work on them. These parts are mostly going to be drop-in, and these parts break faster than the hammer. The hammer, It's just something that I don't see breaking too often. It will wear out eventually, and I tell most people just clean it, reassemble it, and then boom, it just works. There's one item that would be an honorable mention. Let me see, but it's not in here. If you don't touch the leaf spring and you don't mess with it, if you leave the TM as is and don't try to mod it, you'll be fine. But I've lost track of how many people have come to me and they played around with the leaf spring and their guns just aren't working anymore. Okay, I know everyone likes to mod. Like I've said in my videos, this is a dangerous place to mod. So it's an honorable mention because I want to say most of us, guys, myself, I learned the hard way. Okay, I've literally destroyed 100 of these myself, just trying to play around. And it's just once you bend it too much and then you try to reshape it, it's just a pain in the ass. It's a nightmare. You just put it in, taking it out, putting it in, taking it out. This is honorable mention because a lot of people do mess around with this. So if you mess around, if you know you're gonna mess around with it, just get an extra one. Doesn't have to be the competition UAC one. This is a light trigger pull. And it's very nice. The trigger didn't make it because it's never gonna break on a TM. Okay, it's only gonna break if you mess around with it. Other than that, I think these are the king for me of parts that break. If you buy all this, you're pretty much you're set. Everything else is just weird, or you got an unlucky batch. Like sometimes the plastic outer barrels on TM1 they'll come separated. That's just unlucky. But quite honestly, you can just epoxy it and it's done. It's a quick fix. You can't fix the safety. Once those things snap off and you try to epoxy it, it snaps back off eventually. That's a pain in the ass. Short stroke is definitely important. I think I have covered everything. Let's take apart this slide. Yeah. That's gonna be it, guys. So that is the PP. So what it it's so stupid. I think it's gonna help me remember it easier. And I've been putting this package together for a lot of people over time, but I never had a name for it. So let's just start from the top. PP includes all of this: aluminum slide, recoil spring, loading nozzle, type bore barrel, bucking, short stroke kit, lightweight blowback unit, aluminum guide plug, steel guide rod, brass, copper, enhanced hop up, not aluminum. Don't get aluminum. Steel ambi safeties or thumb safeties. It can be either you guys can take a chance on a New Age or cocking handle / UAC Bomar sight. These will help your gun tremendously for performance and durability for the parts that break I want to say this covers everything that breaks commonly in the TM Hi-Capa. I hope this video has helped you guys. Maybe this video should be the new upgrade video. I'm not really sure, but we'll see where it is. If I need to remake it, I'll do it. It's just there's a lot of stuff everywhere, and I'm working on these guys. I'm gonna do these guys actually really soon. Everything. I think everything's in now. And I will see you guys around. This has been the PP. So go ahead and laugh, but I think that's what we're all here for. I mean, who names a group of parts, meat and potatoes and holy grail? But hey, we're here to have fun. I'll see you guys around. Take it easy.